Paul Cox. How are you? How are you feeling?
Well, it's extraordinary that I'm still alive. That's all I can say. And I should not be here. And for some reason, I'm still here. So it's quite funny, actually. I used to worry about it. Now I don't anymore.
You've got your film Force of Destiny, your latest film. Are you thinking of your next film already?
Yes, I just finished it. No, not shooting, but writing it. Yeah.
Right. So you're still very much in the creative process?
Well,
nothing stopped that?
No, because then you'll finish up as a little Munch painting lying in the bed with our teeth and, going into the dark. No. I will go in full blast. Thank you very much.
Now, I've seen your film, Force of Destiny, and, well, what can we say, Paul Cox? It's another Paul Cox film, another shameless exercise in populism, in appealing to the lowest common denominator, just to make some quick money at the multiplex.
Exactly.
For shame, Paul Cox. When are you going to learn?
I know, I've totally sold out. Yes, well, what option did I have? I was living in the gutter, so I had to do something.
Tell us what the film is about.
Well, it's about a modern phenomenon. I mean, it's only in the last 25 years that we can actually take and lift an organ out of a dead person and pop it into and keep another person alive. And, this very strange thing happened to me, and it took me a long time to adjust to the fact that I actually live by the grace of somebody else. I had cancer, and there's only very few people with cancer of the liver that actually firstly survive and secondly get a liver transplant, because usually the cancer is such a demon. It lurks in the dark and then pops up at any time, which happens to me again, so I'm still, but I got an extra 5 years out of this gift of life, and I hope I used it properly. One of the reasons that I certainly made this film, because I want people to be more aware of leaving their organs behind before taking them with them in their dark graves,
It's not often that we get a Paul Cox film with an overt message in it. But this one does have an overt message, doesn't it?
Mm.
What is the message?
Leave your organs behind before you snuff it, or at least sign a form, and don't, go into eternity. Think that one day you'll go back to the village square, and then when your heart is missing or your liver, God will not accept you into heaven or hell. And the message is, for heaven's sake, be a donor.
Paul, how do you want people to react to Force of Destiny?
If it awakens some compassion for somebody else, of course I want them to react with love. Dig up a bit of love that is living in everybody's heart, which they have more or less locked up, because our world doesn't talk about it. You don't sort of write a letter and somebody says, with love, Jim, you say, kind regards, sincerely. If you put love there, everybody thinks, "Ooh, well, that's a bit tricky. Why would people say this?" I want them to react with their instinct and love, because I think this is a film that was made against all the odds. Should have been made. I shouldn't have been alive. I had to do this because out of gratitude, amazing gratitude, and also I became terribly emotional about being alive. And when I saw a bit of kindness anywhere, I wanted to give form and shape to the kindness we are capable of. So it's a very kind film, I see, and it's about love, and it is about survival, and it is about beauty, and it is about our capacity to give instead of to take.
You also have a central character who is a quiet hero. He perseveres, he is determined, but doesn't make a big deal of it. He's quite modest. This is a consistent theme in many of your films. Mm. Why do you like that quality so much?
Well, I don't believe in heroes. I've never believed in heroes. Everybody that always thinks and feels and struggles and is properly part of the human race is a hero, you know. So these are ordinary people struggling and living ordinary lives. But I do believe that there is an element of that we always have to search for an element of beauty. Like,
did you know much about organ donation rates in Australia before your experience?
Not really. I mean, they're much more serious than we all know, you know.
So how did you react when you found out that Australia is it among the lowest, or is it the lowest organ donation
It's
rate in the
amongst
world?
the lowest, and it is totally insane, partly because of religious fanaticism and all that sort of stuff. But I think a lot of people could be, you know, people that I've known well, beautiful people, because usually when something dramatic happens to somebody, it sort of improves their spirit. People become more humane when they stand and dance on the edge of the void. They realize that all they have is their lives, their humanity. And so these people are very wonderful, warm, marvelous friends. And quite a few of them that I've known and lived with and been to all sort of things with have died because there was no... I have been extraordinarily lucky at my age to still get a new liver, whilst I had cancer is almost unheard of, you know.
And you have a rare blood type too, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
And most people could guess a Paul Cox film when they see it, because the style across your filmography, more often than not, is consistent. And I think that Force of Destiny is a testament to the fact that you, as a filmmaker, have kind of created your own filmmaking universe. You work on low budgets and you basically get the people you want in the film and you get to make it the way that you want. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, it's true. It's because I'm very stubborn.
I was going to say creative and innovative and determined, but if you want to go with stubborn, that's fine.
It's probably because I think film is the most extraordinary gift to all of us. It's a fantastic thing to, you know, you can combine all the other arts in one wonderful medium. You know, and film usually has much more to do with music and painting than with literature or with the theatre. I think it's really very much detached. As soon as people make a film of a book, you can see it straight away. It doesn't really gel. And so my films are sort of, they come from a little glimpse of illumination, I call it, and that capture you off guard, and suddenly something haunts you. I think, my God, this needs to be investigated. And then you have the enormous fight to get people. You know, when I made films like Innocence or A Woman's Tale, films that were hugely successful all over the world, that had no impact here. Usually only in Melbourne they got very bad critics, but everybody else liked them. They were very commercially very successful. If you try to make a film like that now, and you say, I want to make a film about two elderly people falling in love, you know, go to hell, you know, where is the action and all this? It is very extremely hard, and therefore you have to be very dedicated. I've been very lucky finding the right people to help me to do this, but it wasn't easy.
Is it a combination of always working on very low budgets and having a circle of friends who are also artists, who are happy to contribute their time and effort into your films?
It's something like that, but sometimes the budgets are not. I think $1 million or $2 million is a lot of money. And I think the responsibility to actually live out your dreams is an extraordinarily big responsibility. I would say when people say low budgets, I think they are called responsible budgets. I might pick my pockets. Do you want to see my pockets? They're quite empty.